Israel claims a knockout blow in Gaza, eliminating ISIS's top commander. But Houthis fire back with fury, calling Yemen strikes a Zionist failure, vowing escalation and unveiling new multi-warhead missiles. On the ground, Hamas ambushes bleed Israeli troops, forcing retreats in Gaza City. A war of assassinations, denials and battlefield shocks unfolds. Israel's military claims a decisive strike, eliminating Mohammed Abd al-Aziz Abu Zubaydah, the top ISIS figure in Gaza. The operation, carried out near al-Bureij in central Gaza last week, was revealed on August 29th. According to the Israel Defense Forces, the strike was carried out using aerial assets under the direction of Southern Command and under guidance from the Military Intelligence Directorate. Abu Zubaydah served as the head of ISIS's Palestine district and was responsible for policy, planning and implementation of the group's operations in the West Bank, Gaza Strip and Sinai Peninsula. The Israeli military said that the organization has actively engaged in combat against IDF forces and facilitated the transfer of weapons and terror funding from the West Bank into Gaza. Also on Friday, the IDF said alerts were activated in open areas of the Gaza border region due to a false identification of a rocket launch. According to the military, an interceptor missile was launched, and alerts were sounded according to standard policy. Earlier in the day, the military said it had stepped up armed operations around Gaza City, ending temporary pauses there that had allowed for aid deliveries as it pushed ahead with a plan to take full control of Gaza City. The Israeli military said the local tactical pause in military activity will not apply to the area of Gaza City, which constitutes a dangerous combat zone. The assault on Gaza City has gradually intensified over the past week as Israel has urged civilians to leave for the south of the Palestinian enclave. Meanwhile, a top Houthi military official responded to Israel's claims of his assassination by pledging further escalation against Israel towards forcing it to eventually end its genocide in the Gaza Strip.
The Zionist escalation in Gaza or towards Yemen is not a sign of strength, but rather a sign of impotence and failure to achieve its goals over nearly 2 years, and it will be met with escalation.
The remarks came a day after Israeli estimates alleged that the IDF might have assassinated a number of Yemeni officials, including Gamari and Defense Minister Mohammed al-Atifi, during airstrikes against the country's capital, Sana'a. Gamari had also been targeted during Israeli aggression in June. The official denounced the regime for targeting civilian neighborhoods in the capital, while framing it as a push towards eliminating Yemen's political and military elites. He said, "The targeting of civilian neighborhoods in Sana'a by the Zionist enemy will not go unpunished." Moreover, a source in the Houthi Defense Ministry told Al-Mayadeen that no military leaders have been assassinated, stressing that these reports are entirely fabricated and constitute mere psychological warfare. The source said that Israel has absolutely failed in its attempts to reach Yemeni military leaders, who have greatly benefited from the lessons learned across the region. The ministry asserted that the attacks instead struck civilian areas. An official source told Saba news agency that the new round of Zionist aggression is a failure like those before it. The official also stressed that neither threats nor airstrikes will intimidate the Yemeni people or their leadership. Instead, these actions only strengthen their resolve and determination. A senior military official also told regional news outlets that the enemy's psychological and media warfare is ineffective and will not impact the course of Yemeni operations. Mohammed al-Farah, a member of the Houthi movement's political bureau, described the latest Israeli strikes on Sana'a as a failure, saying they targeted densely populated civilian areas in a reckless and criminal manner. Meanwhile, Houthi leader Abdul Malik al-Houthi said that the movement has begun manufacturing multiple warhead missiles.
Missile forces brought us some good news about their new achievement, which alarmed the Israeli enemy. we have begun to produce multiple warheads for the Palestine II ballistic missiles. They are now capable of carrying several warheads.
After the escalation of the Israel-Hamas conflict in the Gaza Strip in 2023, the Houthis warned that they would launch strikes on Israeli territory while barring ships associated with the Jewish state from passing through the waters of the Red Sea and the Bab el-Mandeb Strait until Tel Aviv ceased its military aggression against Hamas in the embattled enclave. Press TV reported that Hamas have staged several daring ambushes against invading Israeli forces in a flashpoint Gaza City neighborhood, forcing them to withdraw, while causing 12 casualties among them and leaving 4 forces missing. Various resistance media outlets reported that the 4-hour-long ambushes, framed across Israeli media outlets as security incidents, took place across the city's Al Zaytun neighborhood. The clashes featured intense gunfire by the fighters against hovering Israeli helicopter gunships, heavy shelling by them throughout the neighborhood, and close-quarters combat between the fighters and the invaders. 1 soldier was killed and 11 others sustained injuries as a result. No new information has yet been provided regarding the fate of the 4 missing troops. 2 other such security incidents were also reported in the city's Al Sabra neighborhood and the city of Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip. The developments came amid Israel's push to occupy Gaza City, the Gaza Strip's largest urban area, in its most ferocious campaign yet throughout its October 2023 to present war of genocide against the coastal sliver. Press TV wrote that the territory's resistance movements have, in return, begun staging detailed retaliatory strikes, prompting the military to start proclaiming Gaza City to be a dangerous combat zone.